Imagine waking up tomorrow and noticing that something is clearly different. You find yourself unusually sensitive to numbers. When you get to school, you're faced with a math test. As you quickly scan through the exam, you discover that the questions suddenly all make sense, and the answers come very easily. Well, this wasn't my experience at school. Hi everyone, I'm Bartol, and I graduated from Oxford in September with a degree in mechanical engineering. Even though I've become quite skilled at math and enjoy studying it, many people think my ability is just a natural talent. They often assume that they struggle with math because they're just not as smart. What they don't realize is that I had a tough time with math for most of my school. Leading up to GCSEs, math was a real struggle for me. Honestly, I found it hard, boring, and oftentimes just pointless. However, something significant happened when I was 16 that changed everything and ignited my passion for math. I went from struggling to thriving, and this didn't just happen by chance. There was a process involved, which, looking back on it, was actually plain simple. It was right in front of me. In this video, I want to share this process with you. I'll keep it brief because I wanted to go try it out and start learning to love math just as I did. It completely shifted my academic journey, and it could change yours as well. The key is to change how you practice math problems. That's it. Surprisingly, most people often approach math problems in the same ineffective way, and it just doesn't work. Here's what I used to do. I would look at a math problem and feel completely lost, typically. I would grab my notes and textbooks and struggle to figure it out. After a while, I might manage to identify the first step and write it down, but as soon as I tried to move on, I'd get stuck. After 30 minutes, I might finally solve the question, writing an answer I found, and inevitably it would just be wrong, and so I just move on. Sound familiar? Let's think how much learning actually happened here and how much time was spent. Well, no learning and probably about 40 minutes of time spent. You might think you've tried hard, and even if you did, you didn't really learn anything. The most important thing is understand the method. Being good at math is being good at seeing a new problem, recognizing parts of that problem that are similar to other problems you've practiced in the past, and using those, applying them to this new problem to find the solution. It's about mastering the methods. My original way of solving problems didn't really help with this. Most of my time spent revising felt wasted. The breakthrough came when I realized that math is all about method. Now, when I face a question, this is what you should do instead. Take a moment to think how you would solve it in your head. If you realize you don't know how to tackle the problem, or anticipate getting stuck, just give up. Yeah, you heard correctly, just give up, walk away. Instead, look at the solution and take time to understand each step. After that, set the solution aside and try to go through the method again on your own without looking at the solution. By studying the solution first, the method of the solution, you gain a clear understanding of what the question is asking. You can then carefully recite from memory each step. And if you get stuck, rather than just glancing back at the solution, put effort into trying to remember what happened next. The solution just gave you a general direction for the question. And so when you get stuck, think about where this question is going and try to work out the first next step. This breaks up the problem into much simpler problems of just step by step and uses your brain power to solve each step one at a time and think of the entire problem as a problem in itself. This makes it much easier to move forward as you know the general direction. Once you think you have the answer, you compare it again to the original method. If you find you make a mistake or can't seem to progress, just repeat the process. Understand the method, cover it up, and try again. And that's it, it's just that simple. Now I'll give you the reasons why this approach works better than my initial method in high school and probably yours. First of all, it creates positive feelings. Instead of feeling frustrated and confused, after solving each question, you'll experience the satisfaction of completing a problem correctly and on your own. And this boosts your confidence. Secondly, this method saves you a ton of time, allowing you to study more effectively. Previously, I would spend countless hours trying to figure out just one question, without even knowing if I was on the right track. It's like walking in the dark. With this new approach, every moment is spent learning and revising. You learn the method first, and then reinforce it by practicing it right away. Don't think of looking at the solution as cheating. Think of it as just having a teacher right there. The next time you see a similar question, you'll recognize how a previous method can apply, and as you build your collection of methods, math becomes like solving a puzzle. You can try different methods for each problem and strengthen your understanding as you connect new challenges with what you already know. Math is hard. Technical subjects in general are hard. Unlike history or literature, where you learn topics in isolation like the Battle of Hastings, math requires a solid grasp of the underlying concepts. If you struggle with calculus, it might be because you missed something in earlier lessons. Don't stress too much if you feel behind or don't have some essential knowledge. I'm here to help you connect these dots as quickly as possible. The plan is simple, though it might be difficult to stick to it. But I promise if you do, you'll become skilled at math in no time. So do this. Find practice questions and past exam papers with clear solutions, and then aim to tackle 20 questions every day using the method I just described. Yes, it sounds like a lot, but I assure you, it's so worth it. By working through these practice questions, you'll focus on what truly matters and identify areas in which you're unsure. Instead of going through an entire notebook from the previous semester, each time you find a step you're struggling with, you'll discover what knowledge you need to catch up on. It's like having your own personal tutor. When I was preparing for my GCSE exams, I dedicated an extra 2 hours on math problems beyond my regular assignments. In just one semester, not only did I catch up on what I had missed or had not been paying any attention to in class, but I also became one of the top students, if not the top student, in my class. To wrap it up, if you're still listening, getting started is the hardest part. And by watching this video, you've already taken that first step. The rest is about just continuing going forward. Before long, you'll find joy in solving math problems, as hard as it sounds, I promise. And as you build your understanding, your approach to math will change completely. It's still important to pay attention in class and complete your assignments, but you won't be the person who hates math and feels lost anymore. Now, thank you for listening to this video. I hope it really helps you. If you find it valuable, also consider subscribing to keep up to date with all the videos I share. And also let me know if you've tried these methods and how they work for you. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.